Hello, this is Sandra Cruz, and I am going to talk about a welcoming school library environment. And many times you think of the library and you think of many activities that you can do, and how do you get those kids coming back day after day, not for reasons that are research or to check out a book, but coming back for the love of the library. So, first of all, you have to have some considerations such as the age of your patrons, their interests, their special needs that they may have, such as technology needs, space. If you're limited on space, you might have to find innovative ways to be constructive with what you have. Your budget is important, especially nowadays where there are many budget cuts. And technology, since it's ever changing and the cost is very high, you have to take all of those considerations into effect. Uh, in your physical space, the main goal is when students enter the library that they feel welcome, that they come in and you update your decor so that it's a space that is interesting to them physically. So you need to consider the following, such as spaces for collaboration where students can work together in groups, and the comfort level that it's there. It's clutter free, where it's not an intimidating library that they don't know where to sit, where to go. There's just too much going on. It has to be user friendly with signage and everything at their disposal, and it has to be visually appealing. As you can see from the picture, you have a setup with the Cat in the Hat and Read posters and Thing 1, Thing 2. So it's a Dr. Seuss setup. And then they have the books labeled mystery books, scary horror books. And so when students come in, it's something visual that they look at, pulls their eye. There's a display in the center, and they're able to find what they need quickly. For collaboration, you have to think of students and their social interaction, how they might work together with other students. So ways that you can do that is to have comfortable living room designs, such as in the picture you have a sofa, you have comfortable chairs, not your regular just standard tables, chairs, and that's your only type of seating. You also have to have electrical outlets at your seating because students have a lot of technology that they need to connect at times or charge. Game tables are also good, and lounging space where children can set up a chessboard, a checkers board, a Monopoly game, and have a social interaction with their peers. And another consideration is maybe a separate place where they can eat and drink while they are working on their studies. Maybe with their own technology, their own devices, they're able to eat or drink because they'll take care of their items rather than by the school's computers. So a place to eat, a place to drink is something that might be a consideration. Comfort, how can we make the library comfortable? Well, like I mentioned, the seating is important. The lighting, that it's natural light, that you've got some lamps set up. Don't just rely on the fluorescent lighting that might be a little harsh. The environment can be non-intimidating, where they're not walking in and right away told to be quiet, sit down, what do you need, what do you want. Shelves are accessible, not that they so that they're not asking constantly if they can have something from a higher shelf, or to help having to ask for help for the lower shelves. And all your resources need to be readily available. You can't if a student's looking for something, you can't tell them, well, come back tomorrow and I'll have it ready for you. You have to have a space that's near your circulation desk that perhaps you can quickly access to give students information or technology that they might need. How can you make your library visually appealing? First and foremost are your displays. Keep them updated. You can't have the same one year round. And keep in mind your audience, because what's going to appeal to the younger kids may not appeal to your high school students. Your displays need to be clutter free. Don't just throw several things on a table and then it's hard for them to kind of grab and go. because they might drop the whole display. So kind of keep it clutter-free where they can grab what they want. That's what you want with your display, where they can grab books from there. Promote several types of genres. Don't just stick to the same fiction over and over again. Allow students to give their input. They might be interested in a certain type of display. And if you have limited space, use shelves, desks, tables, counters, window ledges, and bulletin boards. And even the floor and ceiling are excellent spots. For example, here's some Halloween displays. You've got some students around a display of horror stories, and these are more geared for the high school, middle school level. And on this page, we have appropriate elementary level displays. You've got some pants hanging from the ceiling that say these books will scare your pants off, and then little displays such as a bulletin board and books that are kind of put together on a little table with different cutouts. Your collection must have signage, and you can consider bookstore shelving that you can group your collection by interest, such as horror books in one section, sports, classics, poetry, graphic novels. And the more book jacket displays, the better, because students are able to look at the cover and see what jumps out at them. So as you can see in these pictures, you've got a poetry display, and you've got cookbook display, and your manga graphic novel display. Another way to create a welcoming environment is have a great atmosphere and mood where the students come in, they feel that they're not going to be getting in trouble for talking. Another important aspect is Wi-Fi. Right now everybody's connected, and the portable devices must have Wi-Fi, so students need access to that. You have to have promotions throughout the year. Your hours need to be available for the students, like in the morning, before school, and after school, and even during lunchtime. And your resources need to be available. Students can't be looking for something and it's constantly not in your collection. So if students are looking for a particular item and you don't have it, it might be something that you will consider adding to your collection. How can we create a positive mood and atmosphere? Well, students need to internalize ideas such as, is this my kind of place? Do I enjoy being here? Can I be successful here? Do they have what I need? And does this place fit in with the rest of my life, such as the technology that they're using? So some ways that you can keep your library modern are by your updated technology, having your databases and your library catalog easily accessible, and by linking yourself and your library to social media, because all students are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, so that's a good tip. And Wi-Fi is so important because it's one of the things that students state is what their number one need, and it has to be accessible and fast. If they don't have a good internet connection, they're not going to be able to use their resources well, and outlets need to be available. Cell phones, it's such a controversy because you usually don't want students on their cell phones, but everybody has cell phones these days, so you need to be a little lax. They might use them for web surfing, social media access, for texting, but as long as you remind them with signage to keep them quiet and to silence the ringers, then it should be okay. So work with your students. And promotions, keep students motivated to come in, have contests, book jacket design contests, book talks, lunchtime reading, dress up. So there's several promotions ALA has posted on their website, so all you have to do is look those up. And your library needs to be available before school, after school. Drop-ins should be welcome. You can't tell kids, well, you're not supposed to be in here at this time. And your web page needs to be updated so that students, in case they need anything, they have a place to look from their home, from their classroom. So your web page is an important way to be connected to the students. And finally, keep up to date and allow your students to be creative, to benefit the library, to benefit you, and allow input from many people in your school community, and have fun so that you can give that joy of the library to your students. Thank you for listening to my presentation.